if there's an emergency, there's no other way of transportation. Like if I can't get a lift or I can't take the train to wherever I need to go, yeah, I'll have to consider Greyhound because that'd be my last absolute resort of travel that I wouldn't have to depend on someone that was close to me. On the 8th of this month, 2023, I was waiting at 9:50 for my bus to arrive, and it never showed. Was stranded out there for about 8 hours or more with my service animal. I called Greyhound like 11 times. They didn't care very much. They kept on telling me either the bus was just pulling in right at that moment and that I didn't have to worry, and the bus never actually came in. And other buses that have been stopped through that bus stop in Roseville, like the Amtrak, they said that all buses were grounded. And Greyhound kept on giving me a runaround. I talked to three different supervisors. One hung up on me because he said I said the word heck, and he said I can't take swearing, and he hangs up the phone. And I'm like, okay. And I talked to two more supervisors, and the last one, when I was talking to around 6:30, honestly, he was just giving me a runaround saying we could reschedule you. I couldn't reschedule. I was stranded because I was just dropped off there. So then my phone died right in the middle of that around 6:30. I had no way of charging my phone, no food, no water, no bathroom, cold outside in this little glass box, and my pup is just freezing. I had to walk to the nearest 7-Eleven to get power for my phone so I can get a hold of Lyft so I can get a ride to somewhere warm. And just a whole bunch of different events after that, and I missed out on my accommodation that I had out in Carson City, which wasn't cheap. And all because of them not showing up, my $30 ended up becoming about $458 in money that I didn't have to spend, and which I needed actually to go to Fresno to go to handle some things, and had to go on a loan, which I shouldn't have had to in the first place. They should have let me have known what was going on. They didn't give me anything. They kept on telling me they don't know. They're tracking the bus and it's leaving. The bus was being tracked, and it would show at one time that it would arrive at 3, earlier at 1. No, it just all disappeared and erased and went into saying that original time that it was supposed to be there, but it never did actually show. Trying to make me think that it did come. And the Greyhound people, with what they say on their phones, it's not true at all what they say. They care about the safety and health of the passenger. No, they don't. They don't. They'll leave you to freeze outside. And that's exactly what happened to me and my pup until my phone actually died because they didn't have their schedules right. I would like Greyhound to make it right by helping pay me back for those extra expenses that didn't have to even be spent on. For my accommodation that I missed out that there was no refund for. Like it all adds up, and I don't have money right now with how the economy is. With all this inflation, I can't afford it. I'm not employed right now. That really, really hurt me. And I had to figure out a way of accommodation for that night, being left in Roseville, not having any friends in this area. I just wanted to make sure to get us out of the rain because it was just starting to rain too. The accommodation that I went to didn't accept cash, so I had to take another Lyft to go to CVS in order to pay for my hotel. But like I said, I wouldn't have to do none of that if Greyhound would have just showed or was able to help me. Like I've heard them accommodating people when they don't show, but I don't understand why they would do it on this time. I'm never using Greyhound again because Amtrak is way better for one. And I've heard of Flixbus. I haven't tried them, but I'm looking into that instead, or Megabus. But I'll never ride Greyhound again. They really don't care. Couldn't even make it to my destination, and it ruined what I had going on out there. And I was just trying to get away and couldn't even get that. Honestly, I paid $30 to sit at a bus stop in the cold all day. I want people to know, for one, how Greyhound really treats their customers, and they say one thing, but they mean another. And honestly, I want Greyhound to take accountability. Like, I mean, like, the customers deserve a right to know if they're not going to show. They're not paying to sit outside. And I suggest find another avenue, way of travel before you choose Greyhound, and make that be your last resort. Absolute last resort. Actually, give the customer service. I don't know. They need to at least tell the clients when they call. If they keep on continuously calling, you actually care. Don't tell them something that they want to hear and it not happen, because that makes them way more upset. And just be honest. Like if something is canceled, tell the customer. They should actually be reaching out to the customer and client in order for uh, things to be right, because they're not paying for nothing. Not paying to sit outside to get sick. It's and be hungry, thirsty, nothing around. They just need to be more customer friendly. Well, I've warned them to be very cautious of going with Greyhound, because they they haven't been really too reputable, and I hear stories all the time that them not showing up, leaving someone stranded for 10 hours or this or that, a whole buses of people with kids and all that. No parent and no kid should have to go through that. So before you go to Greyhound, just think how you want to travel. If you don't really care what you're doing, go with Greyhound. They're pretty cheap. Not gonna lie, but it's not worth the price of being stranded. Talking to the customer service. The customer service, they only tell you what you want to hear, like I said. And because they don't want to be yelled at, and they'll pass it off real quick. And I had to fight in order to get each supervisor that I spoke to. Like I had to pull teeth in order for that person, the operator, to actually want to transfer and put me on hold for the supervisor. And I was on hold for quite a bit of time altogether, like in between like 15 to 20 minutes before the supervisor would actually answer. And then to have a supervisor actually hang up on me to say that I was swearing at him for saying heck, that is absolutely ridiculous. Like, I mean, heck to me is not a bad word. And I just no reason. It was just a reason for him to hang up the phone and not have to deal with a consumer that was really pissed. And you know what? It just made me even more mad every time they would pass it off. And then they would say, give me another time that it will be there, showing on the tracking bus that it actually, the time the bus is going to come there at 2 something or 3 or whatever. Each time they did that, it just never showed. They all kept on saying to reschedule, reschedule. Well, I'm not supposed to reschedule. I can't reschedule what was going on that evening, that was going on for me to be arriving up in Carson. That can't be rescheduled. And because of that, I lost everything. So, yeah, reimburse me for the 458 I had to spend extra for Lyft rides to get me back all the way up to Colfax from Roseville after I have to stay in the night there because I couldn't get a ride up that day back here. For the gas money that I gave my brother and all that. It came out to exactly like $458. They did that. That would be very cool.